In this video, we're going to make a custom deck for use in the Skirmish and Multiplayer modes in Last Days of Old Earth. From the main menu, click Deck Builder. Here you'll see various options. We'll start by clicking New Deck. Now you choose which faction you want to make the deck for. I'm going to select the Skywatchers. Here you're presented with every card in the game so far, which we'll be adding throughout the course of Early Access. You can view all cards or narrow the cards down to just show certain types, such as heroes, units, or later on in the Early Access, facilities and aircraft. Each deck you make must be 40 cards to be considered usable in multiplayer and skirmish games. Though there isn't an upper limit to the size of the deck, you can only have 1 of each hero and 5 of each unit. I try to keep my decks at a minimum of 40 as it allows me to specialize my decks more readily and specifically. To add to your deck, simply click the card you want added on top of the screen. Note how it is then present on the bottom half of the screen, which represents your deck. If at any point you decide you don't want a card in your deck, simply click the card from your deck that you want to remove. To inspect a card's abilities, right-click on the card. This is a Steel Tusk. In the top right of the card, it shows the AP and resource costs to deploy it. Below the image of the unit is the abilities it has, which are described in more detail on the right. Below the abilities on the card are the stats for attack, defense, health, and movement. So I've decided that I want to play a fast, opportunistic deck that surprises the enemy and hits hard. So we're going to create a deck that specializes in these areas. For damage, I've added 5 Steel Tusks, 5 Northwalk Veterans, 5 Blood Pledge Rifle Clades, and I've also added a Relic Bearcat, just in case I need a little extra attack in the final push on the enemy HQ. For speed, I'm including 5 Outrider Rollers, 5 Spear Sister Trackers, and 5 Iron John Crawlers, the latter of which also has a mount-up ability that allows infantry in its army to move at its speed rather than theirs. I'm also adding 5 Spear Brother Mountaineers, which, while not super fast themselves, negate the slowing effects of moving over mountains, and are therefore a perfect way of taking shortcuts through the map that would otherwise be blocked by mountains. Heroes, of course, should be chosen to enhance your overall strategy, so I've gone with Chanal Goodgrass and Zarvi, whose infantry leader abilities give their armies +1 attack, which will make my shock units all the more effective. Andre's Black Spear and Sister Nafi round out the deck with their Lightfoot ability, which reduces the AP cost for movement, allowing me to make moves with more of my armies per turn. I'm happy with this. I click the deck options and save deck as. Name the deck something awesome and memorable and click save. If I ever want to edit the deck in the future, I can select load deck in the main menu and make the tweaks that I want to make. Now, if you happen to find yourself in the situation of not being near your gaming PC but wanting to make a deck, you can visit oldearth.slytherin.com, select the deck builder that you want to build, and create a deck in pretty much the same way. And once you're done, select save and you're given a code. When you next play Last Days, you can select import deck from the main menu, enter the code, and the game's deck builder will automatically build that deck for you in the game. You'll also notice that when you click save on the site's deck builder, you're given a URL at the end which is the same code as the one on your deck. Now this is so that you can easily share the deck with your friends via email, social media, or with the entire Last Days of Old Earth community on Steam. Thank you for having followed us, and see you soon in multiplayer with your customized deck.